Hey you guys, I just shook the camera. Sorry about that. Welcome to this week's video. We are going to get into the topic that I want to talk about today, but I wanted to also do like a mini disclaimer. First off, we're in my office and I've been moving some things around. So there's like furniture everywhere, there's ring lights, like I'm just trying to get like a new setup that works for me and all of the new content that we're going to be creating. And I'm so very excited. You've probably been getting little glimpses of it in the last couple of videos. I've been doing this since I started the channel in 2017, 2018. And for the most part, what I have always talked about is narcissism, codependency, breakups, divorces, healing from your stuff, self-esteem, self-parenting, which I will always talk about. But it's been a lot of those kind of healing from toxic relationships type of things that we've always discussed here. And we got to evolve. We can't keep talking about the same thing over and over again. So I have been divorced for 11 years. I've been in a relationship for almost 8 years. I have 2 stepsons. I have Ryan, my son. I'm 44 years old. I'm going through perimenopause. My body has changed. I have to take care of aging parents. Like, I'm just at a completely different stage of life. And I want to talk about all those topics because I think that they're important and I think we have to grow and evolve. And doing the same thing over and over again, I know a lot of people can do it for their entire career. I can't. That's just not my personality. Once I know that I've kind of outgrown something, I don't have the same passion for it anymore because I am just a grower and I need to change and grow and evolve and do all the things. So if you love kind of watching these videos, I will always still be doing coaching related videos where we're talking about specific topics, but I am going to start introducing other topics and other types of videos that I'm excited to make, whether it's beauty related content. I know majority of my audience are women. I am excited to talk about style because quite frankly, at this stage of my life, who's got style? Like, I am barely surviving some days being a mom and doing all the things that I have to do and run a business that you definitely neglect yourself. So getting back to figuring out who you are at this stage of life, really important topic because I think all women go through this. Your body's changing, you're changing, all the things. So I think that's really important. I love beauty. I love learning how to age gracefully. That's just like my kind of motto. And talk about all the things that we're going through, whether it is perimenopause and learning how to take the best possible care of ourselves while we are going through that. So we're going to be doing a lot of different things and I'm super excited about the different types of content that I'm going to be putting out there for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into this week's video because I know that's why you clicked on this. Thank you so much for listening so far to this rant. Let's get into it. I know that there are just some things that will keep you stuck for many years, whether it's in anger or keep you stuck being single. These are your fears. And your fears are based on, of course, what it is that you went through. The unfortunate part is you have to really be honest with yourself on what these fears are. So we're going to go over them. And I want you to really listen to me. And I want you to be honest on what are the things that you know you're still circling around, probably in the back of your mind. You might think you're over it. You might think you're fine. You might think you're trying to get out there and like meet another person. But these are basically your emotional walls that you're putting up. There is no way that you can come out of a really horrible situation, a tough experience, and not have this fear of being hurt again. You are trying to avoid pain so much that you're completely blocked from anything good that could possibly happen. There's just this thought in the back of your mind of, what if I really do love this person? What if I fall for a person and then they do exactly what my ex did to me and then I'm right back where I started? What happens with that fear is you have made a relationship, and this is for the person that like straight up does not want to or is not going to ever get into a relationship ever again. So they have sworn off relationships, they've sworn off men, they've sworn off women, they're just not doing it. The problem is that you have focused so much on the negative of what it is that you've experienced, and you're always going to get my validation. What you went through was absolutely horrible. It was unfair. Most people don't go through what it is that you've been through in an entire lifetime, but you went through it and it was part of your experience. And now we have to learn how to not let that experience taint the rest of your life. It's no different than if someone had gotten into a car accident and then they just never want to drive again, or they went on a flight, had really bad turbulence, and now They don't want to fly ever again, where they used to fly all the time. They used to enjoy themselves. They used to go on vacations, and now they're just stuck. These are all the fears that we go through when we've been through a traumatic experience, when we've gone through just significant pain. I don't think this was something necessarily that I felt, but I do know, maybe briefly, but I do know that a lot of people struggle with it. And it's this like notion, this idea that you need to be completely healed in order for you to find love again or to find healthy love. This fear that we have to like really work on ourselves completely in order for this new relationship to come into our life is just based on not wanting to repeat the same patterns that you've repeated in the past. You don't want to attract the same person, which means I want to avoid pain. And pain is unavoidable. Pain is a part of life. All we can do is make the best decisions with what we know at the time. And that's all you've ever done. So even the people that like really give themselves a lot of shame for picking the person that they picked, or not being smarter, or not being able to see the red flags, or seeing them and still just being like, all right, whatever, I'm just desperate to be in a relationship. All of that was based on what you knew at that time. And what you knew was you were just trying to survive. You were just trying to get some of the things that you really were craving that you had never gotten before. And when you are working on yourself, yeah, you do start healing like a lot of parts of you, absolutely, but you're never going to be fully healed because there's only so much work you can do on yourself while you're alone. You have to get into relationships. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, because you being in those situations are going to give you more of your fears, your insecurities, your wounds, all of those things. More of it is going to come to the surface. Not all of it can come to the surface if you're just by yourself all the time, because eventually you'll just get to a place where you genuinely enjoy being by yourself. And I've learned how to do this, and I'm not my own worst enemy, that I'm not really causing myself any pain anymore. And I'm pretty happy and pretty content in my life, which is a great thing, which means you've taken responsibility for yourself. It means that you have been self-parenting. You're learning how to take care of yourself mentally and emotionally. Like, you're doing all the things and you're in a really great space. And that's very important in terms of your standards and boundaries and being okay being alone and not settling and all of that. What ends up happening is that people get too comfortable being alone. Now, the next fear comes up of, I don't want to lose myself in a relationship. I don't want to ever get into a relationship because I'm genuinely happy with where I'm at, which is amazing. But you weren't here to just walk alone all the time. You were here to find the joys in other people, in relationships, and being connective. Because that also brings up the fear of vulnerability, which is, I really don't want to let someone in because I don't feel like anyone can really ever take care of me or see me or make me feel heard or give me what it is that I really need. I don't think anyone's equipped to actually do that. And no, there's not one person that's equipped to do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. No, that's called mental health. That's called you're supposed to be doing it for yourself. But there are people that genuinely are going to be able to be great assets, great relationships, people that are like-minded like you, people that love in the way that you do, people that want this type of relationship that you do. You just have to believe that those relationships exist. The fear of being hurt again, all of these fears that we have, especially the people that have just sworn off relationships, you now look at a relationship as being so many negatives because you keep circling those stories instead of all of the positives that relationships actually bring to the table. When you focus more on the positives of how you're going to feel and what you're going to get in that relationship, you stop focusing on the negatives, and then you get excited to be in another relationship again because you're not focusing just on everything that I'm going to lose or what could possibly happen. You're focused more on the joys and the experiences that you could have in your life versus all of the pain that you've once felt. I can say one of the best things that I learned was just education. Just educating myself on different things helped me to see things more clearly than how I saw them before, because I was viewing life through a lens that wasn't healthy, which was all of my insecurities, all of the ways in which I wanted someone to like love me and never leave me, and all of those things which were based on traumas and things that I had went through. And I think every single person is walking around with something. The healthy ones are the ones that know what it is and they're actively trying to work on it and they take responsibility for it. And the unhealthies are the ones that have absolutely no idea what it is, and they go around and hurt other people because of those things that they've been through. And again, they're not aware of any of those things. When all you've ever known is dysfunctional relationships, in the very beginning, a healthy relationship is actually really boring. These are usually the people that come to me and say, and put such an emphasis on chemistry and attraction. And those things are definitely high on the list, absolutely, of what you should demand in a partner and in a relationship. But it's also really important to make sure that the things, the qualities of a relationship, of a person that you genuinely do want, that you find them very, very attractive. So game playing is not something that's attractive to me anymore. Not knowing what you want in life is not something that's attractive to me anymore. It might have been things in the past that I would just overlook because they weren't high on the list. Now there are way more things that are high on that list of requirements in order for me to be in an intimate relationship or even a friendship that were never there before because I really didn't think about it. There are also things that I used to find really attractive in men that I don't find attractive anymore. So now to me, the boring guy is not really boring. He's actually really attractive. That's the kind of person that I want in my life. I want reliability. I want someone who's stable. I want someone who's empathetic. I want someone who's kind. I want someone who's a gentleman. I want someone who wants to genuinely take care of me in multiple ways. And vice versa. I don't want someone that's just basing our relationship on how attracted they are to me. I want them also to value me and what it is that I bring to the table. But I have to be able to do the same thing for him. Otherwise, we're just having a surface level relationship. When you come out of these relationships, we all have been through that phase where we are like Googling and like watching, dissecting, watching every single video, trying to learn every little thing. Everything is a label. And I feel like there's just these people on social media, I don't know why it triggers me so much, that are so annoyed with the word narcissist or toxic or unhealthy or wounded. And unfortunately, a lot of the videos that are on social media are made by therapists or doctors, where it's like, honey, not everyone is narcissistic. If you even kind of think, and the funny thing is, I've been on the phone with so many of you where you guys will say, I don't think that they actually have narcissistic personality disorder, but they have a lot of traits. Great. These are all the healthy people. These doctors and just like these people that are just like, everyone's not narcissistic, I'm so sick of that label or whatever. Well, guess what? A lot of people have narcissistic tendencies. A lot of people, yes, have NPD. A lot of people are very toxic and unhealthy. There's another triggering word for some people out there. And it's because people do have stuff and they don't know what it is. They don't know why it's there. It won't take any accountability or responsibility for it. And they go out into the world and hurt people and vice versa, right? If you're wounded, you are going to hurt people. So because of my wounds, I would shut down. Because of my wounds, I would get defensive. There were so many things that were going on inside of me as well. And now I'm not narcissistic, but the one thing that I think makes us label people in that way is the lack of empathy. And if you don't have empathy, you're bordering someone with a personality disorder. So we learn all of this stuff on relationships and people and dynamics and everything that we're so obsessed with not missing a red flag. Here's the thing though, even if you miss it, and this is where you kind of have to be willing to be vulnerable and be in situations where, yes, you could actually get hurt or someone could leave you. I'm going to try to make the best decision with what I know, but I can't control everything. So I'm going to hope and pray that doesn't happen. I'm going to hope that I make a great decision based on what it is that I know now, but I can't control whether or not I'm not going to experience pain. So all the good that you could be receiving from being in that relationship, you're not getting because you're in fear of that little bit of pain that you could experience, or a lot of pain, but also you're in fear of something that possibly could never happen. And because of these fears that most people don't even know that they have, they energetically are just blocking themselves from anything good that could possibly happen because they'll make excuses. They'll say that they're just not interested in this person because they find that person boring, even though they do find them a little attractive. Like there's just so many excuses that will start to come up because of this wall and this fear that you still have living inside of you that you haven't dealt with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, don't forget to like it. That really helps out the channel. Go follow me on social media. I hope you're excited for all the new content that's coming. We're going to be doing so much different stuff. I'm honestly really excited. Let me give you like even a little sneak peek. We're going to be doing, I have so much like makeup over here. There's like clothes. In the last probably 3 years, I just haven't invested a lot of time into myself. It's just been the kids, business, actually not even relationship, because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, in your mid 40s, you just collapse at the end of the day. It's like, how much more laundry can I fold? Dinners can I make? Snacks? You know, I'm an Uber driver. I'm just in a phase of life where I'm ready to pour into me, and I want to bring you along for the journey. So I'm super excited about all the content and all the old stuff that we're obviously still going to talk about with just a little twist on it. Stay tuned, more to come. I'm excited. I hope you are too. We're going to enjoy the last months of summer before the fall hits, and I hope you guys are well. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.